Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. This is Professor Vinti Dawar from Kurukshetra University, Kurukshetra. Today we are going to talk about the module Eco-Friendly Practices in Food Service from the paper Food Service Management. The main objectives of this module are the definition of environment, relation of environment and food service industry, to know the sources of pollution, to acquire knowledge about laws related to environment applicable on food service organizations, various eco-friendly practices, and environment-friendly certifications. Students, the word environment is derived from the French word environ, which means to encircle or surround. Everything that surrounds and affects living organism in environment includes all the biological and non-biological entities. In India, Environment Protection Act 1986, commonly known as EPA, deals with the issues related to environment. Various terms such as environment, environmental, pollutant, environmental pollution, hazardous substance, or are defined. I'm going to define each one for you one by one. First of all, environment includes water, air, and land, and the interrelationship which exists among and between water, air, land, human beings, all living creatures, plants, microorganisms, and property. Environmental pollutant, as defined by EPA, means any solid, liquid, or gaseous substance present in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to environment. Environmental pollution is defined as the presence in the environment of any environmental pollutant. Hazardous substances means any substance or preparation which by reason of its chemical or physicochemical properties or handling is liable to cause harm to human beings, other living creatures, plants, microorganisms, property, or the whole environment. Air, water, and land surrounding us constitute our environment, and these influence us directly. The flora, fauna, and microorganisms, as well as the man-made structures in our surroundings, have a bidirectional interaction with us, directly or indirectly. The totality of all these components and their interactions constitute our environment. As we all know, environment is multidisciplinary. Environment is complex and has multifarious aspects. It deals with working of Earth, its life support systems, its interactions, influences, its problems and solutions. Keeping in view the complexity and nature of environment, knowledge and information from various disciplines of science, social sciences, law, and engineering have to be included in environment studies to understand it completely. What I mean is that all the different subjects contribute in one or the other way to our environment. Let's take the examples. Life sciences, including botany, zoology, microbiology, genetics, and biochemistry, help in understanding the biotic components and their interactions. Genetics and biotechnology are emerging as very useful tools for finding solutions to our environmental problems. For understanding the physical and chemical structure of abiotic components of environment, along with the mass and energy transfers, we have to make use of the basic concept of physics, chemistry, geology, atmospheric science, oceanography, and geography. Look, mathematics, statistics, and computer science also add in our environment protection. How? They serve as effective tools in environmental modeling. Subjects like economics, management, and sociology provide the inputs for dealing with socio-economic aspects associated with various developmental activities, such as that how much pollution has been caused and how the waste is creating problems. Then a synthesis of civil engineering, hydraulics, chemical engineering, and nanotechnology provide the technical solutions to environmental pollution control and waste treatment that are extremely important for protection of the environment. Environmental laws provide the guidelines and legal measures for effective management and protection of the environment. If there are no environmental laws, we'll go on polluting the environment. As we all know, the endangered species have been declared. Otherwise, people will go on killing those animals and environment cannot be protected. Environmental education and mass communication are two important subjects that are instrumental in disseminating environmental awareness. Also, environmental ethics provide the guidelines for a sustainable lifestyle. Now, what is the relationship between environment and food service industry? As you can see on the screen, like any other human activity, food service industry also consumes natural and man-made resources that harm the environment. The fact that is one of the fastest growing industry in the world, that is food service industry, also raises scope for studying its relation with the environment so that harmony between industry and the environment may be maintained before it's too late. But I believe initially we must understand how the environment is affected by the pollution caused by food service industry. Dear students, pollution is of two types, that is natural pollution and artificial pollution. The natural pollution is the pollution that originates from natural processes, and the artificial pollution that originates from the activities of human being. Here, we are more concerned about second type of pollution, which we all cause. It can be of various types, which we'll be discussing one by one. Air pollution is one of the main types of pollution. The addition of chemicals to air leads to pollution of air, which is called air pollution or atmospheric pollution. Now, to know the sources of air pollution, a major source of air pollution in a food service industry results from the gaseous emissions from the establishments. Some of the pollutants that cause air pollution are man-made sources of air pollution, such as the activities which we perform, the smoke, the fumes from oil and the food being cooked, when we roast meat, the fumes and the gases which are produced, and smoking being done on charcoal in itself, the tandoors which we burn, all cause pollution. And the gases which are emitted are carbon oxides and monoxides. These come from automobiles as well as, like I'm saying, from coal and wood burning. There are volatile organic compounds which are benzene, methane, CFCs. These are continuously emitted from refrigerators, air conditioners, which we commonly use in food service industry. And the heat itself, when fuels are burned, they give rise to heat. What are the main effects of air pollutants? First of all, when there is an increase in carbon dioxide concentration in the air, the thick layer of carbon dioxide does not allow the heat to be re-radiated, and this returns back to Earth. thick carbon dioxide layer functions like the glass panels of a greenhouse, which allow the sunlight to filter but prevent the heat to be re-radiated and into the outer space. This is called greenhouse effect. It results in increase in carbon dioxide concentration in the air and thereby causes an increase in the temperature of the surroundings. This increased temperature in the atmosphere is called global warming. And this term we all are listening every day, that there is global warming and we all are going to see the effects, and we are already looking at the effects and rather undergoing these damages. The air pollutants also cause a number of respiratory diseases such as asthma, bronchitis, and lung cancer. We had never heard earlier that a child suffers from asthma, but now a child newborn also can suffer from asthma. Mainly because when the child comes out into this world, he breathes the air which is surrounding that particular room, which is polluted. And we are causing diseases to ourselves, to our coming generation. Air pollutants also make trees vulnerable to frost, insects, drought, and diseases. Some of the pollutants make soil so acidic that new seedlings do not survive at all. So we just kill the vegetation. The historic buildings, stained glass windows, irreplaceable marble statues are also decolored by the air pollutants. We all are aware that Taj is decoloring only because of the pollutants in the air. Now you will ask, how can we control air pollution in a food service establishment? Look, air pollution can be reduced mainly by two approaches. First is the input approach, and second is the output approach. Input approach reduces the pollution, whereas output approach treats the symptoms. First approach is easier and cheaper, and the second one is difficult and longer. Now we'll discuss the methods of controlling the air pollution. Again and again, we are talking about 3 R's. By now, you must have marked up the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. The waste of paper, metals, all, all can be reduced, reused, and recycled. We can control air pollution if we regulate population growth, because each one of us is breathing, is contributing to the pollution of the air in one way or the other way. We can reduce energy use. More and more people rather are using air conditioners in their homes. We are increasing the CFC and polluting the air. The number of automobiles is increasing, once again leading to air pollution. So reduce the number and you will be able to control the air pollution. Use solar energy, wind energy, and flowing water energy. But do not use air fresheners because they pollute the air. Install air to air heat exchangers, and we can save our environment by controlling the solid waste management. Now we'll discuss water pollution. Water pollution is any biological, physical, or chemical change in surface water or groundwater that can adversely affect the living organisms. It is an aquatic contamination which eliminates living organisms from rivers, lakes, ponds, or oceans. We are well aware that when the ships or the cruise sinks, their fuel is discharged in the water, and thousands to lakhs to millions of sea animals die. The sea weeds, the sea plants are all destroyed. There can be different types of water pollution. There can be groundwater pollution. When we say groundwater, we mean the water which is available on the ground level. The groundwater pollution is caused mainly when the sewage is infiltrating into the groundwater. The seepage, that seepage causes gastritis. We very commonly come to know that gastritis has hit this particular place, and very, very common in rainy season because the groundwater gets polluted. There can be soil water pollution also. The soil water means the water which is present in the soil. Surface water pollution, just on the surface. When we sprinkle any material on the water, that pollutes the surface water. When our animals, human beings, bathe in ponds, the surface water gets polluted. There is river pollution all over India. We all are aware pollution of Ganga, pollution of Yamuna, Godavari, all major rivers, maybe major or maybe even small rivers, rivulets which are flowing in the season are polluted. Unburnt human and animal bodies are thrown in the rivers, which pollute river water. All kinds of pollution, the industrial effluent, the human waste, the excreta, the animal waste is thrown in the river. All that leads to water pollution. The lakes, which is a very pure and natural source of water, are also polluting. The Dal Lake in Kashmir is one example. The Dal Lake has been polluted by the tourists. We eat food and throw the polythenes in the lake, in the river, in the water body available nearby. Pollution is being caused by us. Then the next is the coastal water pollution. People who are living on the coastal areas and the tourists who come there are polluting the coastal water, dumping the river with all the pollutants. We find no place to throw the particular waste, we'll go and dump it in water body. The aquatic animals are dying. Fish number is reducing because we are causing water pollution. Then there is estuarine pollution. There is open ocean pollution. Even the oceans we are not leaving aside because all the rivers are finally coming into ocean. When the rivers were polluted right from the place these start, on their way the rivers are polluted, and when they come and meet the ocean, are flowing into ocean, the oceans automatically get polluted. The number of cruise and ships is increasing because transportation medium, So the oceans are being polluted. Then there is bacterial pollution of the water. I said human excreta, the animal excreta, all kinds of pathogens which that particular human who is throwing his waste into the water. So we are sending those bacteria into the water. And when a healthy person is drinking that water or bathing, will be infected. Similar is the viral pollution. The virus, we are the ones who are polluting. The next is the metallic pollution. The whole junk of metals is being dumped into the ocean. So definitely there is water pollution, nutrient pollution. See, nutrients are required for our growth and development, but we are polluting. The water nutrients we are killing, we are spoiling. How? Once again, I'm saying again and again and again and again that we are the ones who are killing, who are destroying the nutrients present in the water. We are filtering it. We are putting ROs. The minerals are being removed. Petrochemical pollution of the water is another aspect. I just now said that a cruise or a ship or submarine has a leakage. The petrochemical will leak into the water and is going to destroy the flora and fauna. There is pesticide pollution as well. The pesticide pollution, we are spreading pesticides to control the pests in our agricultural fields. From there, the water takes away the pesticide with it and pollutes the river. The river in turn pollutes the ocean. Radioactive pollution is the next type of water pollution. The radioactive material, the nuclear material which we are using. We are using so many radioactive appliances. After the use, where do we dump these? Where do we throw? We have no good methods of waste disposal. So, those easy and convenient disposal methods found by us are just to throw everything in the water. So, when we throw, the radioactive material pollutes the water. Thermal pollution is another kind of water pollution when the temperature rises. We know that global warming is taking place and the temperature of sea, of rivers, lakes, ponds is increasing. And the resultants are in front of us. We have had tsunami and we are going to have many more if we do not wake up to the call of the nature. Though we all know the sources of water pollution, but let's discuss these one by one. The very first is the sewage waste. It is a waterborne waste that comes from habitations, animals, and food processing plants. We all can see animals bathing in ponds in the same water in which human beings are also taking their bath. We can also see human waste littering around the sewage, seeping through our drinking water. Then there is industrial effluents. The inorganic and organic pollutants are present in effluents. The main pollutants are the oil, plastics, heavy metals, phenols, toxins, acids, dyes, DDT, plasticizers, cyanides, and the list is endless. Also, the detergents which we use for washing and bathing are pollutants. Then, what are the effects of water pollution? The water pollution affects the abiotic and biotic factors of different aquatic bodies, and its effects on human remains are drastic. Some of the effects are pathogens, domestic sewage, manure, biodegradable organic waste depletes the dissolved oxygen of water. The addition of inorganic nutrients such as nitrates and phosphates. There are toxic compounds which are added to the water, and then there are also effects like insoluble soil. How can we control the water pollution? It's very, very easy, and we all can contribute to this. But how? We can establish nationwide standards for water contaminants, use biodegradable substances. We can control the use of pesticides and fertilizers. Sewage waste should be properly discharged. Also, recycling is one method which can be used and water can be recycled, purified, and supplied. The next type of pollution we are going to discuss is the soil pollution. Soil is the topmost layer of the earth that is produced by weathering of rocks. The rocks go on weathering and the soil is formed. Soils are the best homes for a variety of living organisms. We all know that from this soil we can produce plants. Whatever plant food we are eating, we are getting from the soil. But simultaneously, soils are more vulnerable to population from various sources. We dig the soil and dump all waste into soil. The maximum wastage of the house, of the industry, of our areas, we are dumping in soil. All those wastes are going to pollute our soil. The plastics, the different kinds of polythenes are polluting our soil. All solid waste and chemicals cause soil pollution. The main sources of soil pollution, as you can see on the screen, are chemicals which are emitted into the air and these come down to surface to pollute our soil, herbicides and pesticides. Soil of the earth have huge amount of animal and human excreta that contains many pathogenic organisms. Industrial wastes which have biodegradable and non-biodegradable substances such as metals, toxic substances, paint, cloth, plastic, heavy metals, etc. Wastes are also dumped into the soil. We just dig the soil and put the waste into it. And the maximum wastage which we are putting is the polythene. Sewage waste and sludge in the urban area are also major sources of soil pollution. You would like to know that what are the effects of soil pollution? Dear students, in forest ecosystem, pollutants inhibit process of soil formation. The soil itself is not formed. So how can you grow anything? The vegetation is being destroyed. Pesticides and herbicides also cause a disruption in species and composition of communities. Some of the non-biodegradable chemicals persist into the soil and affect soil flora and fauna. The soil pollution causes many diseases to all of us. We can minimize the soil pollution using many different methods, which can be For solid waste disposal, controlled tipping or sanitary landfill method can be adopted. We collect the solid waste from a city, make a landfill outside that city. We go on filling, adding soil in between, and then we can grow a garden there, we can put grass there, we can plant trees there, and instead of causing harm, it will become a place of beauty for us. Effluents also can be treated before discharge into the agriculture fields and nearby areas. You must have read in the newspapers that the industrial waste is losing the soil fertility and the crops of that particular areas are getting damaged. So the treatment is that if we treat that effluent and then leave that to agriculture fields, it will become rather fertilizer than adding to our woes. Solid waste should also be properly disposed of. Recycling can also be emphasized. We can always post garbage bins of different types at each place that we can segregate the biodegradable and non-degradable. And then the recyclable also, we can recycle few things like glass, tin, metals, paper. So we should segregate it and then recycle it. Sewage waste and sludge should be properly recycled and treated. And we can also recycle and reuse the liquid as well as solid waste. The next type of pollution is noise pollution. A loud, unwanted, or unpleasant sound that causes discomfort to us is called noise. The release of unwanted sound in the environment is called noise pollution. As we all know, the noise pollution has many damaging effects on us. Noise increases the level of cholesterol in the blood, causes headache, increases our blood pressure, causes the pupils of the eyes to dilate. There can be mental abnormalities which can be seen in the fetus. It also affects the hearing ability of human beings. Sometimes you must have heard that due to noise, excessive noise, a person's eardrum was damaged. Along with that, noise pollution also causes anxiety and stress and also hormonal imbalance. But we can control the noise pollution. How? Very, very simple. You minimize the noise pollution by plantation. Plant trees around your home, around your buildings. We can also use sound absorbing media. Even if you put curtains and you put carpet in your home, the sound is absorbed. But we can also use silencers. All automobiles you would have seen are fitted with silencers. But on the contrary, also you would have heard youngsters removing the silencers and moving around, which can cause noise pollution. There are many eco friendly practices which are exercised all over the world. There are environmental committees or teams which can be formed, which are already formed, and these can encourage and ensure eco friendly practices. These will have individuals from each area of the establishment. This is very important that we have people from that particular area. They will assess eco environmental performance by monitoring and evaluating established standards regarding the use of resources and waste on a monthly and annual basis. These must be conveyed to the guests, staff, shareholders, vendors, and to the public. As already discussed, we can recycle and reuse many things. Just before 2 points, I mentioned that we can recycle metals, glass, plastic, paper, cardboard, newspapers, so many things. Then we can also reuse things like carpooling. We can also pool the paper. The newspapers can be exchanged. We can make two-sided printing instead of using one side, and we can save paper. We can use electronic files rather than paper ones. We can switch to bulk packaging of amenities, donate used amenity bottles and containers, and we can also recycle or form compost from food waste, which can be used to produce organic fruits and vegetables. But dear students, we can also increase the energy efficiency and conserve energy in which each one of us can contribute. But then how? Use motion sensors or timers in traffic areas. Energy efficient CFL or LED lights can be used. There can be energy efficient equipments with star rating, and we can also use renewable energy sources such as solar energy, wind energy, so that we can continue using the energy and not go on without energy sooner or later. Water efficiency can also be increased. Use less water consuming toilets and urinal flush. Install low flow shower heads and faucet aerators. Post signs to encourage water conservation. Make your friends, families, communities, society aware about the methods to conserve water. Check for leaks. Recycle water. You can bring this awareness in the society. Now let us learn about environment-friendly certifications. As I already said, there are various agencies, but now I am showing you on the screen itself which evaluate and certify eco-friendly practices in food service industry specifically. What are those? We'll discuss one by one. The very first can be LEED, LEED. It stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. It is the most reputed among various eco-friendly programs. This provides third-party certification to confirm that a facility is designed, built, or retrofitted to improve performance in energy and water conservation, reduce emission of greenhouse gases, improper indoor environmental quality, and preserve resources. Thanks to its rigorous certification process, it has been marked as one of the most decorated eco certification programs. So, the next is the Green Key Globe. The Green Key Globe evaluates hotels on a questionnaire containing 140 questions which are asked online, conducts audit and awards hotels an environmental rating of 1 to 5 green keys. It has certified around 1200 hotels in Canada since 1990. Its major 9 areas are building infrastructure, community outreach, energy conservation, hazardous waste management, indoor air quality, land use, solid waste management, and the last is the water conservation. The Green Globe International is, as the name suggests, international company certifying green hotels and golf courses around the globe since 1993. It evaluates behavioral facility and product issues at the hotels. A third party auditor is appointed to ensure international standards. The whole process is around 30 to 60 days. It takes 30 to 60 days. And in that only they assess the hotel and provide certification. The Energy Stars you must have seen while buying your appliances. The Energy Star Committee has been created by US Environmental Protection Agency, known as EPA, that is Environmental Protection Agency, to ensure reduction in energy consumption and greenhouse gas emissions. Some major certified buildings are Amazon.com, the headquarters being in Seattle, the National Geographic Society based in Washington, D.C., Cambridge Savings Bank in Massachusetts, the Aon Center in Chicago, and USA McDermott Building in Texas. The another one is Green Seal. It has been in the market for hospitality industry since 1995 and the evaluation is very scientific. This requires an on-site audit of the property and yearly monitoring to ensure ongoing compliance. That once they have done on-site audit, after that there may be pollution. So the Green Seal has yearly monitoring. This certification emphasizes on different areas to mention energy efficiency, conservation and management, environmentally sensitive purchasing, hazardous substances management, management of fresh water resources, waste minimization, reuse and recycling, and also the wastewater management. Audubon Green Leaf Certification. Now, what is this? This program was started in 1998 to minimize harmful effects of hospitality industry without compromising on guest satisfaction and to reduce costs. This particular certification awards hotels 1 to 5 green leaves based upon conserving water and resources, preventing pollution, reducing waste, and saving energy. The more you conserve, the more you prevent pollution, the more you reduce waste, and the more energy you save, you get more numbers of leaves. The eco rooms and eco suites concept has been designed on the basis of a stern set of eco criteria. It has two tiers of green designations. One designation is approved and the other is certified. First is based upon satisfactory completion of an application, and the certified status requires an on site audit but by one of their program advisors. The advisor comes to the property and makes an on site audit, and only then the certified status of eco rooms and eco suites is given. The criteria mainly includes Green Seal certified or equivalent cleaning products are used in guest rooms. Green Seal certified or equivalent paper products, that is facial and bathroom tissues, are also used in guest rooms. Bathroom features amenity dispensers of small, practical amenity sizes with guests encouraged to take the remainder of their bathroom amenities home. The Green Seal is provided as well as the Eco Suites. They give those bathroom amenities which one can take along, or these are donated to homeless shelters or provided to organizations that ship them to less affluent countries and are being popularized. The hotel has to implement a linen and towel reuse program. Only then it can get the seal. Guests are provided separate and easily identified receptacles or bags in which to deposit recyclables. They are given bags in which they have to collect the recyclables, and those are sent for recycling. The energy efficient lighting in every area is a must. High efficiency plumbing, that is 1.6 or less gallons per flush for toilets. 2.5 GPM shower heads and 1.5 gallons per minute or less for sinks with water efficient aerators. The hotels have to be 100% smoke free. The GTBS scheme. What is this now? This is Green Tourism Business Scheme. It is the only green business certification program approved by Britain's official tourism organization. Its mission is to offer guidelines to tourism businesses on how to make their operations more sustainable while still delivering a high quality services. It evaluates on 150 different measures of 10 areas. A very vast certification program. What all does it do? It does the property, it looks at does the property comply with environmental legislation? Does the property demonstrate appropriate staff training, monitoring, and record keeping? Is there social involvement and is the facility a good neighbor? And how well does it communicate its policy to its customers? Is the property heating, cooling, lighting energy efficient? Does the property work to conserve and safely manage water? Does the property promote 3 R's? What are those 3 R's? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. How does the property increase its sustainability in ways not covered in the previous areas? So on and so forth. STEP program, the Sustainable Tourism Eco Certification Program. This was developed by Sustainable Travel International, known as STI, a non profit organization. With global sustainable tourism criteria, it aimed at achieving worldwide reach. It was launched in 2007 and is certifying hotels in United States, Canada, UK, China, Australia and Brazil. So to conclude, now we are aware about what constitutes our environment, what is the relationship between environment and food service industry. We know the pollutants, the CFCs, the chemical pollutants, the physical pollutants, the metals which are polluting, the water pollution, the air pollution, the noise pollution. We also are aware by now about the laws related to environment which are applicable on food service organizations. And the main aim of this module to encourage eco-friendly practices and also what are different environment friendly certifications. We have discussed the green leaf, the green seal, the eco rooms and eco suites and all that. I hope you have gained and made a resolution in your mind that you are going to use eco friendly practices, eco friendly products, and also spread awareness all around you to make people aware and save the earth and life. Thank you so much. Wonderful listening by you, and I wish all success to you. Thank you once again. Stay blessed. Goodbye.